Hi there, this is Diane. I have a little brief lesson in our Blondes Prefer Gentlemen series, Taboos for your first date, if you'd like a second. These may seem silly, but they're worth mentioning because I've still seen them happen. So I'm so glad you're here with me, and the kind of responses that I have been getting have been so lovely. Thank you so much, and I do appreciate you sharing this with as many people that you possibly can who you think might benefit from this series. It really has been a labor of love, and it is my pleasure to be your personal tutor through this. Obviously I have invested my time and believe that it is noteworthy because of the lack of I guess respect to being a gentleman that I have seen in my many adventures in dating. And so it's just a few of these taboos. If you'd like to get a second date, don't ever, and I mean ever, do this on a first date. Bring or talk on your cell phone. If you can't have 2 hours of time where you are devoted to the person that you're with, to when it's your first date, if you have a pending real estate deal or something going down, maybe you ought not be on a date where you can't give your full attention to who you're with. Now that may sound harsh, but it's not. And here's the reason why I've included it on this. Remember, being a gentleman is all about respect for the other person. In this case, the lady. But trust me, if it was a lady on a date with the guy, and I was teaching lessons for ladies, if she had on her, her cell phone going, it would make him crazy also. It's so disrespectful to be talking on your cell phone when you're with someone else on a first date. Texting, talking, I just can't see any reason why that would be necessary. I remember one guy who I was so excited to see him, and he was on his phone, and he felt like he was all important and all that, and maybe he was, but that he thought he was made him not, in my eyes. But of course, I understand important phone calls. I get that. So instead of pull up where you're supposed to meet somebody, wait a quick second and wrap up your phone call, and then go devoted to the person that you're going to be with. And instead of like, oh, hang on. This sends a message that somebody else is more important than you. And it sets the worst tone for the rest of your date. I don't know that it's recoverable. So do without your cell phone. Turn it off. If there are important things coming in, they'll be there when you're completed with your date. I promise. That's what answering machines are for, and voicemail. So, the cell phone thing. I gave some, 6 tips for first dates, but those were not like, those were suggestions. I also wanted to, if you're going in your car someplace, make sure that it is fit for a queen, the kind of queen that you want to have in your life. And it doesn't have to be a royal carriage coach, but make sure that it is suitable to carry somebody that you respect. Make sure it's clean. Make sure all the stuff is out of it. It lets her know that you respect her enough to respect her space, and you're going to be opening the door for her. Imagine having to clear it out and, brush things off and move things from the front to back in front of your date. You're going to be embarrassed to do that. Don't do that. I've seen that too. Make sure that it's a good experience for you, that you do what you want to make sure, hey, my car's clean and it's going to take us where we're going from point A to point B. It doesn't have to be some big souped up, sports car or whatever. No, just whatever you have that you're driving, make sure that it's clean and suitable and has enough gas so that, I guess you could stop and get gas. That's not a big deal. But that's one. And then when you're if you're dining on your first date, eat healthy. Don't eat total junk food, you know. That signals a lack of respect for yourself, that your health is not important to you, and it should be important to you, but more so if you intend on being with somebody that you intend to, you know, get a second date with, you want to marry. You know, dating is there's two reasons for dating. One is just to go and have a good time, and there's no end result. And another one is to find somebody that you would like to be a lifelong companion with and marry. So when you look at couples who've been together for decades and decades, they are very mindful of each other's health because they don't want to be a widow or a widower because of poor health if it can be avoided. So I've seen that too, where, you know, with no regard whatsoever for personal health, just eating really, really unhealthy. And that makes an impression too. So it's all about respect. It's about respect for yourself and respect for the other person. So just wanted to stick with those three things, 3 taboos on your first date. Thanks for joining me. I'm Diane.